Hi, and welcome to the Shereen Show, where we talk about all things mind, body, spirit, and relationships. So today we're going to be talking about the spirit, which is so fun for me because we really get to bring out the creative side of the human spirit. A lot of times we get stuck in our jobs and making money and paying the bills, but today we're just going to have some fun. So to help us have some fun, I have a really special guest. She's a jewelry designer, and she does basically designs by Shereen. So I just want to welcome you, Shereen, to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, I don't know if you guys can see, yes, it's in frame, all her amazing jewelry. So this is just kind of a little taste of the different things that she has created. And so I kind of wanted to ask you, how did you get started on this path to creating jewelry and doing art as one of your trades in life?
Well, I decided that I really needed something creative. I went through a really massive burnout, and I just wanted to create something beautiful. I had just kind of felt like I was really run dry in my job, and I needed an outlet. So I was in some of the fancy department stores, and I saw that a lot of the jewelry was made of plastic, and it was really expensive. And I thought, if people are going to pay good money for jewelry, shouldn't it be real stones? Shouldn't it be something the earth made, something God made, like was formed in the earth? Just the stones themselves are so beautiful, just, the simple setting.
Right.
So I started to look for materials that I was drawn to, like jade. I found out there was lots of different kinds of turquoise, colors of turquoise. So there's orange turquoise, which I thought was funny. But then I also found Swarovski crystals, and I knew that that was really high quality, good crystal. So I just started piecing it together and finding very one-of-a-kind pieces or small amounts of beads here and there. And then I would just spend hours making something, wouldn't know what it was going to turn into, and then I'd be really excited when it was done. So it just energized me.
Yeah, I love that. So when you were having the whole burnout thing,
yeah.
So it's always kind of interesting how always something negative precedes something amazing. So I sort of love that story of you getting burnt out and just feeling sort of dried up from the typical, left-brained working career. What was it about jewelry that rejuvenated you or energized you?
I think it was, I could sit down and watch a TV show, start to finish, and I would not really have anything when I was done,
Right.
And instead of watching a TV show, I could sit down for the same amount of time and create a beautiful necklace. And then somebody could put it on and feel beautiful. And I liked that aspect of it, to have a finished, beautiful product. Right. And then I'm nuts about textures, colors. I love just putting them together, seeing how they're going to work out.
Yeah. I love that. And there's definitely something so therapeutic about art and being able to create something and being able to just kind of sit down with a bunch of scattered colors and textures and then put them together in a certain pattern and make it something gorgeous, like you said, that someone could wear. So, for the people out there who might be watching, and maybe they always wanted to be, a jewelry artist, or maybe they always wanted to, run a cool business where they're selling cool vintage shoes, that they're whatever their thing is. What's your advice to them? Like, if in their mind they're telling themselves like, this is silly, or I shouldn't be doing this, what do you say to that?
I would say that creativity is a thing, it's a stamp. It's definitely, if you feel the urge to be creative, creativity is a part of you, and to just go for it. If there's something you really like, just start. Start somewhere. You can make a website a lot of different ways. You can go on Etsy. It's a craft creative conglomeration of like 500,000 stores. So you have all these people who are doing similar things, and then you just, doesn't have to be perfect. You don't start and it's all perfect and you have it all together. You just start with something and you make little turns and little twists, and you figure out, how to get it started. Another thing you can do is, if there's a place that makes sense for what you're making, you can go to like a festival and sell it. You can put it in a store. I was really blessed when I started out. I was able to put it in a like a beauty shop. They had glass counters and everything, and I got to bring it in and display it, and I felt it was my first time putting my art out for people to see, and I was kind of nervous, like, people like it? Would it break? but I just didn't know how it was going to be received. And it was really fun because the shop owner at the time, she goes, "It's really beautiful. It's really good quality. I kind of thought you were just going to bring in a bunch of plastic stuff." And I thought, great, okay, yeah, that's not what I have. I don't have plastic. So from there, you know, you just kind of make momentum. And then I have people now that'll come and just look through my jewelry. I like to do one-on-one appointments because I can create something special for them and they can find stuff they like. And then,
That's awesome.
yeah, I can put it together, you know, stuff I would have never thought up without their input. So I really like the collaborative.
I love that. And so speaking of which, you know, when you were in the process of putting it out in the store and sort of managing that uncertainty of like, or the vulnerability of putting your art out and people would maybe judge it or look at it, how did you manage that part?
I was just really nervous. I guess I just went for it and I just kind of like, you know, like steeled myself against like, well, you made it, you like it, just put it out there. The people that like it will find it.
Right.
And the people that don't can go find the things they like. So it's you just kind of have to be open to the fact that some people will like it and some people won't. They'll have things to say about it.
Right.
So you have to just kind of not take it personally and keep rolling forward if you get kind of weird feedback or something about something.
I love that.
Or it's not their taste or they want it little and tiny, or you know, my jewelry is kind of it's, you know, it's to be seen a little more than like a tiny little necklace.
Yeah. I love that. To be seen.
It's to be seen.
So, and I love what you said about it being kind of a collaborative thing for you, because we collaborated today, if you do notice, what I am wearing today. So tell them about what I'm wearing.
Well, the necklace she's wearing actually was in a music video recently, and it was kind of exciting because a new up-and-coming pop artist named Neon Hitch, she made a cover video of the Miley Cyrus song because there was so much buzz about it, and she got a lot of hits like real quick because she's got an amazing following. And so it just felt really good to have my jewelry like in a legit music video,
right?
You know, someone who has a label, you know, it and then, you know, getting to put together her outfit with her, and that whole collaborative adventure was really fun.
So am I wearing the same necklace?
Yes, the actual necklace that was in the music video.
That's exciting.
You know, you can look it up on YouTube.
This necklace has definitely been around.
It has, yes. It's been worn by superstars. And then the earrings are kind of were a fun adventure for me because they're really intricate, and I had to get in there and twist up a bunch of metal and then do it exactly the same for the second earring. Right. And so it took a little time, but they just look amazing on you, Shereen.
Thank you. I'm kind of obsessed with them. A little bit. I love them.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous.
I think they were made for you, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you make them with me in mind? She's like, no.
Not really.
That's okay. That's okay.
Well, when you put them on, I really feel like you should never take them off.
Really? Okay.
Yes. So, Shereen, those are absolutely my gift to you. Please
Really?
keep them and wear them. They just look so pretty on you. I just don't want to rip them off you.
Thank you. And I just don't know if you'd be able to.
Awesome.
I appreciate it. I really love them. I will wear them often. I will Instagram. I will Twitter. I will give you your props because I really do love them.
Well, there's something that happens when you create something and then somebody puts it on.
Yeah.
It just becomes something totally different than you ever thought or imagined, and I love that part of it. I think it comes alive on the right person.
Did I make these more Egyptian? Did they
Maybe.
turn? Did they turn a little Egyptian when I put them on?
Speaking of that, you know, really, I got my inspiration in Egypt.
Did you?
Yes, I went there for a mission trip to Kenya, and we stopped in Egypt, and we met some of the people from the local church, and we went to the museum, and it was the oldest museum in the world. And so my favorite part was going into the one air-conditioned room that had all the ancient jewelry the pharaohs wore, and I just was so inspired by it in the design. So when I started making jewelry, I kind of had some of that in mind, and I think hopefully you can see a little of the inspiration in a couple of the pieces.
Right. Well, I could definitely see it in these earrings. Just with the gold, and it's like, oh, it just looks so awesome. And this I mean, I've seen a lot of jewelry in Egypt, and this just reminds me of it. But it has a little bit of a different twist because of the crystal. I don't think there's a lot of crystal. There's a lot of gold in Egypt, but not necessarily like a lot of the crystal stuff. So I love this. It's a nice meld of all the things that I love. So thank you for the earrings. I'm so feeling lucky right now.
Yeah. Please add them to your wardrobe.
Yes, definitely. So, okay, so tell us more about like sort of the progress of how things went for you. So you got them first in the store, and then what's happened since then for you?
Well, I went more online. I created an online kind of a presence, and I worked on the Facebook, you know, and all the things that you do as kind of a small business starting out.
Right.
And then I met a gal who is going to be like an intermediate person in looking for shops on Abbot Kinney in Los Angeles, and it's actually in Venice, but it's a really great artsy place, and I think my jewelry would fit there.
Yeah.
So we're in the process of packaging it up to get some potential buyers. So
That is so exciting, and it's on celebrities, and it's on the Shereen Show.
it
so
is on the Shereen Show. That is awesome.
Yes, that's so exciting. So I'm kind of wondering, you know, right now, obviously, you know, I'm in the middle of a big revolution called the Cubicle Monkey Revolution for people who want to rebel against a 9-to-5, to live some sort of an extraordinary life, whether that's doing something creative like you've done with your life, or a business, or whatever it is. And so for the people out there who are stuck in the 9-to-5 rut and are wondering, like, what's my first step? What would you advise for them to do?
I think the first step would to be to narrow in on your passion. Narrow in on what it is you want to do, and just start to research it. Start to look into making some samples of what it is that you know, if it's an like a textile kind of thing you're going to make.
Yeah.
Just sort of come up with what it is you want to make, and then you know, collaborate with people. Find one of your friends that's a photographer. Find somebody who can help you and sort of like build a team, because I had a lot of help along the way in terms of people supporting me or buying it or helping me design it. So there's lots of energy to be had with, you know, people helping you out, and just asking for favors to get started, I think is really a good idea.
That's such a great point, because honestly, I've been doing coaching for a really long time, and it feels like my coaching is really starting to blow up now that I've done a lot of collaborative ventures, and particularly actually this Cubicle Monkey Revolution, just like talking to so many different people in the industry, like you said, like that collaborative energy, and then it just kind of creates a buzz, and then you know, then Neon Hitch is wearing your jewelry, and then you're on TV with your jewelry, you know, and it just kind of like creates this momentum. So I love that advice of first getting clear on what they want to do. So think about that. What's the thing you want to do? And then also the second thing would be like letting somebody in on that secret, so that you're not alone, so that you feel helped and supported, and maybe like it's more fun. So that is great advice. Thank you.
Cool.
So, you know, for you, what's next?
I think like next with the jewelry.
Yes, or otherwise, honey, be open. We're free here on the Shereen Show.
Well, I'm kind of excited about what's coming up for fall, because fall is, I've seen and heard some ideas about a lot of layers.
Right.
So people are doing a lot of layers with their necklaces, and I think that just opens the door for like a lot more creativity and maybe a little funky. So I am looking forward to making more necklaces that can kind of all go together. So if you want to layer up,
love that.
You can do that. I also am on a earring just like trek. So I've been having some fun with, similar to the necklace you have, it's kind of like a gypsy glass.
Okay.
But the cathedral glass makes really kind of neat, I don't know, earrings.
Beautiful.
I really like the cathedral glass with earrings, and so that I'm going to be making a lot of those for kind of like the Christmas season, and maybe like going out at night and dark colors. Something that's fun is onyx. Onyx is a real stone, and it's like you can tell that it's not just plastic, because if you hold it up to the light, it has a little bit of transparency. You can see some of the veins of the minerals in it, and then it's real. It's not plastic, and it's shiny, and it's so beautiful. So then I think I just like the glamour of it.
It is glamorous.
Yes.
So, you know, for the people who are watching right now who are loving your jewelry and sort of being inspired by what it is that you do, where can they find you?
I think the best thing to do would be to get connected with the Facebook.
Okay.
I have some albums there of my work, and you can kind of see if you like it, what it is.
Yeah.
You know, half of the pieces are sold. Maybe they still exist. But if there's something that you like, you can just contact me, and I can make it for you. We can take measurements and get it perfect.
Right.
We can collaborate on something.
Yes, and I think she's doing something a little bit special. If you like the Facebook page, then she will send you a coupon, right?
Yes, for my store.
Love that.
Because I have an online store, so I'll give you directions how to get into the online store, and then you'll get a special coupon for 20% off, and it will be just for viewers today who like the Facebook page.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so we got to find you on Facebook if we want to basically check out your online page.
Yes.
Okay, because trust me, I will be checking it out
Yay.
because your stuff is really pretty. Oh, we have a caller.
Great.
I think they said it was Jack. Jack, are you with us?
Yeah. Hi. I was calling about, you guys were talking about how to get out of the rut. One of the things that I heard you talking about was this revolution, and I'm trying to figure out what is the hardest way to, or what is the hardest thing to get out of the rut? Like, I just find myself thinking of different ideas and different things I want to do, but I just can't seem to get over like the hump. And what is it that this revolution can do to like help as well? And for Charisse, like what she found to be the hardest for her too.
I think there, at any point in the process, there was like one thing that might be overwhelming or that you kind of had to get through. I think it was identifying what it was by talking to people I trusted, and them helping me figure out if I'm just stuck because of my own negative thoughts, or if, you know, I'm just believing something that isn't really true, or if I just need a little encouragement for them to say, what you're making is beautiful, just keep making it. So I would say that I think you just have to identify the thoughts that are kind of in the way. It's usually thoughts. And when you can figure out what is it that I'm believing about myself that's kind of making me feel stuck, you gotta like get it out and like let it dissipate. So you're gonna do that probably with other people who can help you kind of get perspective. That would be what I would say.
I love that.
And my burnout really, I mean, I spent a long time making jewelry by myself before I ever risked putting it out there for everybody to see it. So I think for me, I just needed that creative, like, healing time where I just made a bunch of stuff and I was excited about what I was doing just by itself. And then I felt like maybe strong enough or, you know, courageous enough to take the next step and be like, put my art out for everybody to see. So I think you just have to want it enough.
Yeah.
And you said you talked to people about it. Like, how do you identify that? Like, how to talk to, or who to talk to?
Well, people that were close to me that I trusted, like my family or Shereen, other people that were positive that I knew would encourage me, or they were just somebody who had wisdom, or somebody who was already doing it, you know? Like there's somebody who seemed like they had taken some courageous steps. I might kind of pick their brain about, well, how did you do that? Or, you know, if I heard somebody had some jewelry and they had an online store, I would just, you know, get little bits of information and watch how somebody else did it so that I kind of felt confident that I could do it.
Yeah.
Usually I watch somebody go through a process before I attempt it myself.
Yeah.
That's just my own learning.
Yeah, so Jack, if it's okay with you, I just want to echo what she's saying. It's like brilliant advice to talk to somebody who has taken courageous steps, because oftentimes what we do is we talk to our normal circle, like, you know, I'm kind of bored with my job and I'm thinking I want to go do this cool thing. And people in your circle sort of see you a certain way and have their beliefs about what you can and cannot do. So you have to really hand pick people who either A, you already know that they would encourage you, so it's safe to go there, you know, if they're in your circle, or B, who have paved the road ahead of you and would easily make it seem more real. Because oftentimes when we're used to like a 9 to 5, we will feel like it's a pipe dream to do something outside of the box. Like, I 2 years ago had the thought to have my own talk show, and it seemed like a ridiculous pipe dream. Like, yeah, right, why would I ever think that I could have that? That is literally ridiculous. And because I continued to sort of search for people to encourage me or look for people who had done it, or, you know, whatever kind of, you know, information I was searching for to make it seem not like a pipe dream, but more like it could become reality. Here we are, we have the Shereen Show, and it's actually happened, and it's not a pipe dream, and this is my life now. So I definitely love that advice Shereen gave you of talk to people who have done it so that it feels more normal to you.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Sure, no problem. And if you need, you know, some information about where to find people, I have literally put together the Cubicle Monkey Revolution, which you can find at cubiclemonkeyrevolution.com. And there will be 27 or 28 people who have created completely and totally extraordinary lives that are completely out of the box, and they've had wild success by holding onto the dream. And so hopefully that information and those interviews and those people will encourage you. If you don't have anyone quite yet that's in your mind, I'm trying to make it easy for people. So thanks for calling.
Yep, thank you.
Well, Charisse, good advice. Love that.
Great.
So I'm kind of wondering, you know, we're kind of nearing the end of our show, and I know we gave everybody where to contact you, and we gave everybody the Facebook page, and that's how they can get in contact with you. But I'm wondering a little bit on like a deeper level, like before we close out here, you know, like let's say hypothetically you had decided not necessarily to do your jewelry, and you had made the choice to just kind of stay, like maybe you were in the burnout and you just kind of did the normal stuff to crawl out of the burnout. Like, how has this creative endeavor changed your life for the better?
Wow, I guess in my mind, the question would be, what would you be doing with all the time that if you didn't have the creative outlet where I felt like I kind of come alive and I get really excited about it? I think I would just be like rearranging my house way too many times, driving my roommate nuts. I don't know. There would definitely be just a lack of feeling like I was doing what I was supposed to do, or what I feel like I would just not have been rejuvenated.
Right.
I'm not really sure. I would have had to find a different creative outlet probably to kind of...
Right. So you feel like you would have had to do something creative to sort of revive your spirit and come alive again?
I think a creative person, it's really in their identity, and if you're creative and you're not doing something creative, I think you take a hit, and just more than a person in a job who's not creative. They don't really love their job, but I don't think they take it to heart as much as a creative person does. It kind of becomes, it's like a little more personal. Like,
yeah, I definitely agree with you. It's almost like a little, like that creative part of them dies, and with that death, literally like a part of them dies. It's so...
Yeah, they take their identity takes a hit,
right?
I think.
Yeah, I just was actually at a social gathering on Saturday, and somebody came up to me and he's like, you know, Shereen, I was watching your show and I see your book, and you know, I was like, really like what you're doing. You know, I saw your like revolution, and I'm like, and this person has actually come up to me a couple different times on a couple different occasions and mentioned the things that I'm doing, and when somebody does that, I'm like, okay, maybe they want to be doing it. Like they might like it enough to where they want to do it. And he was telling me, he's like, you know, I'm actually curious about what you do, because I used to be in the music industry and I loved it, and I really loved that creative aspect of doing that. And then I had a daughter, so I went back to school and I got a master's in marriage family therapy, and then started working at the Department of Mental Health. And he's like, I really like the stability and I like that I can provide for my family, but I really miss that creative part. Like he said, this is the words that came out of his mouth. He said, I can tell I'm not doing what I'm meant to be doing. And so I just really want to honor you and acknowledge you for doing what you're meant to be doing, and sort of paving the road and being a light to the people who also want that in their lives. That's good.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Those are some good words, Shereen. I think, you definitely don't feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing when you kind of like just cut off that area.
Right, exactly. And it's so huge to see other people doing it. Like, I think had he not seen me doing that, he wouldn't have come and opened it up and sort of allowed that space. So I really feel like you doing this and you know, us just highlighting it on this show, whoever sees this video, if you're somebody who's feeling like you want a little more creativity in your life, you know, reach out to Charisse or reach out to me and let us know what's going on, because you know, I think that the worst thing that could happen would be the continuing to silence that or like stifle that voice. What do you think about that?
That's probably the worst thing.
All right, so any closing thoughts or advice for our people before we close out tonight?
I guess just get started. Whatever it is you want to do or your creative adventure, just like reopen your dream and just figure out what the first step is.
Amazing advice. All right, well, thank you so much for being with us today and really just gracing us with your creativity and with your inspiration and with your truth. It's been an honor.
Oh, you're just happy you have new earrings.
I am so happy about my earrings.
I'm glad.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us on the Shereen Show. Stick with us next week where we will talk about some part of the mind, body, spirit, or relationship, and we'll see you then.